What is going on, guys, and welcome to a brand new video. Today we're going to be breaking down the top 3 hardest heroes to play in Dota 2. Now this list might spark a little bit of controversy, but this is my personal opinion. I would definitely like to know your opinion in the comment section below, and let me know which one in your opinion is the hardest hero to play in Dota 2. So coming in at number 3 is going to be Invoker. I am currently a master tier Invoker. It is my most played hero in Dota, and I find this hero to be difficult, but not as difficult as the other two. One of the hardest things about learning Invoker is learning every spell by heart and cooldown management. That makes a really good Invoker player into a very bad Invoker player. If you know your cooldowns properly and you know roughly when you're going to have a spell up, you're going to be doing a lot more things around the map, and you're also going to be pulling off better combos. And also, if you know every single spell and know how to use them properly and not overcomplicate things, because a lot of these fancy Invoker players tend to overcomplicate things. They'll go for a solo pickoff that's pretty free instead of going for Cold Snap, Tornado, Meepo. They just want to do a whole bunch of other things. They want to do Tornado, Sunstrike into Ice Wall, into Forge Spirits, Alacrity, Cold Snap. Like, they want to use every single spell in the book for a very simple kill, and that's a really big issue. And I understand it's very flashy. It shows off how quick you are with your skills, and that can definitely be a lot of fun if you're a really good Invoker player. But at the same time, it's not very practical because a lot of teammates can come right after that solo pickoff, and you will not have any spells up, and it's going to be very difficult for you to do anything. You might just have to ghost walk away, and if they have any type of detection, you are pretty much going to die. And if they have a lot of catch, you're pretty much screwed. So you definitely need to keep that in mind. You can definitely be flashy, you can have fun, but at the same time, don't overcomplicate Invoker. Don't use 7 spells for no reason when you can just use 2 or 3 to get the solo pickoff. Or in a team fight, save your spells. Sometimes you want to be able to push a wave with Meteor. Save the Meteor if you think a fight is going to be happening soon. It is one of your best spells, so make sure you guys have that ability. You can burn a Tornado because the cooldown is so quick, or a Cold Snap, or an Alacrity because the cooldowns are so fast. It doesn't really matter a whole lot, but when it comes to Meteor, the cooldown is just too long for you guys to be burning in a creep wave when you can just Alacrity Forge Spirits and clear the wave a little bit slower, but you're going to have that cooldown in case you need to Boots of Travels and TP into the enemy team for a team fight. The next hero we're going to be taking a look at is Meepo. Now, you guys might be wondering, why is it Meepo at number 1? Well, in my opinion, Meepo is not number 1, just because Meepo is a lot easier than the number 1 hero, but Meepo is definitely not an easy hero by any stretch of the imagination. Meepo is a very micro-intensive hero, the most micro-intensive hero in Dota. A lot of illusion carry players will not play Meepo, even though they're really good at heroes like Naga, Terrorblade. They're able to split push the map and such. Meepo is a whole different hero, because if you have your illusions in a really crappy spot and they die, it's not the end of the world. But if you have a Meepo that's farming and gets caught off and you're not paying attention, you will die. When Meepo dies, they all die. And that's what makes the hero very complicated. And a lot of players are super scared of playing Meepo just because they see these videos of where the Meepo has every single Meepo at a different side camp and they're all poofing to each other. And it looks very, very complicated, which it is. It definitely isn't easy. It takes a lot of practice to play Meepo very proficiently. So definitely try it out, play Meepo, but don't be scared if you guys have to use 2 Meepos in one camp because you're not good, because it all takes practice. But the addition of automatic poofing is just so nice for easier ways to learn how to play the hero. Once you get better, you're not going to have automatic poof on. It is very easy for you guys to get some very nice value with poof. At the same time, Mega Meepo was such a big addition to the hero that it makes it much easier to play. It's pretty much a get out of jail free card. Very easy to get away from very sticky situations. When you Mega Meepo, you have so much HP and it's very difficult to bring you down. You can also dig. The better you are at Meepo, the faster you're going to get your timings and the faster you're going to run over the game on free Meepo games. This is why the hero's picked by Smurfs mostly all the time, because the hero does take a ton of skill to play, but you can easily win games on this hero. If it's a good Meepo game and you guys get your timings, you can easily take over the map because you just have more ways to farm than every other hero. Most of the time when it comes to Meepo out farming, he tends to out farm every single hero in Dota. Even heroes like Alchemist can't keep up with a good Meepo player farming very effectively. It can be very difficult for an Alchemist to keep up, and Alchemist is pretty much the fastest farming hero in Dota, but I think Meepo is definitely better than Alchemist at farming, especially nowadays when Grievous Greed was changed. Back in old Grievous Greed, I definitely think Alchemist was much better, but overall, don't be scared to play the Meepo. You guys should try it out first in normal games and then eventually take it to ranked once you guys feel a lot more confident. Practice your blink poof, and also just keep control of your Meepos. Make sure you guys are cycling out your nets and cycling out your poofs, and you're going to be a lot more effective. But again, this all takes time to learn, like every hero in Dota. If you put enough practice into it, you can become very proficient on the hero and become a menace around the map. The next hero we're going to be taking a look at is, in my opinion, the hardest hero to play in Dota, and that would be Brewmaster. Now, you guys might be thinking, what are you talking about? Brewmaster cannot be the hardest Dota. Well, hear me out. Some of you guys who are Brewmaster spammers, let me know in the comment section below if you guys agree with me or if you disagree. I am not the biggest Brewmaster player out there. I've been trying to pick up Brewmaster. I've struggled so much with this hero. I personally play Invoker, I play Meepo, and I'm struggling with Brewmaster. That's just me. It might just be me. Again, this is my personal opinion. I think Brewmaster just takes a lot more effort to actually play, because you got to toggle between Drunken Brawler, because if you want to get armor and magic resistance, you got to go into the Earth Panda. If you want evasion and movement speed, you got to go into the Storm Panda. If you want critical strike and attack speed, you got to go into the Fire Panda. And if you want status resistance and attack slow, you need to go on the Void Panda. All these different stances are very difficult to pull off as you need them. And if you guys pay attention to some of the best Brewmaster players in the world, they are constantly switching for more efficiency. If they're farming a side camp and they are low and they happen to need that extra armor, they're going to switch. If you're going to get dueled and you want that status resistance and you know that it's coming, you're going to go into the Void Brawler. All these things are going to help you so much, and that is what makes the difference between an average Brewmaster player and a really insane Brewmaster player. Really good Brewmaster players can do so much that you can't even imagine. I've seen some of the best Brewmaster players in the world just completely dumpster matchups. They shouldn't even have any business winning, just because they're outscaling so hard and they're doing everything perfectly. And one of the biggest things about learning this hero is controlling those stances. It's a really big part of your kit, and it's definitely going to help you farm better. It's going to help you secure kills in the lane. It's going to make you more survivable. It's going to help you win team fights with very low HP that you never thought you were able to win just because of switching these stances. So definitely keep in mind on how to learn Drunken Brawler first, and then focus on Primal Split. Primal Split is absolutely insane. It is one of your best abilities, if not the best ability. It's a very long cooldown, but basically you have the Fire Panda, which is passive burn damage, kind of like a Radiance damage, and then you have the Void Panda, which is Astral Pull for catch. Very nice. It's a very good repositioning tool and very underrated. I actually don't see this ability being used as much on most Brewmaster players. On the really higher skill Brewmaster players, they use this ability to great effect to reposition enemy heroes and do a lot of work with it. Then next is the Earth Panda, which is the average boulder stun, which is the one most players typically tend to use because it is the easier one to land, and it is pretty long range, so it typically is pretty decent, and it's the one most players tend to use the most, as it is the easiest ability to use. And then there is the Storm Panda. This is the hardest one to use because it has 3 abilities. You have the Cyclone, which pretty much feels like you're in the air for a million years, especially if you manage to catch a carry without BKB. That can pretty much end their team fight right then and there, because you are in the air for so long. So if you don't have an SNY, or you don't have a BKB or a Lincoln's, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. It can be very problematic for a lot of heroes to be thrown up in the air. Heroes like Sven, where you're burning God Strength, can be a very big issue. And then it also dispels in an AoE most debuffs. It's very strong, and again, it has invisibility, which is again very difficult to bring down this panda, because if the rest of your pandas end up dying in your brew split, you can always put that panda into invisibility and get away and make sure you guys are safe, and is a very important tool. So this hero pretty much does it all. You can also play right click Brewmaster, which is very underrated. The hero right now is being mostly played with Spirit Vessel and Radiance, but you can easily start building with Harpoon. You can start playing with Monkey King Bar. You can play with Manta. This hero does so much and is extremely underrated, but I definitely like to know in the comment section below if you guys agree with me that this is the hardest hero in Dota. And if you don't agree with me, let me know in the comments which one you guys think is the hardest hero to play. My opinion, it's definitely Brewmaster. The hero just does so much and is so difficult to play to its optimal level. Anybody can pick up a hero and do very basic things, do a primal split, get a couple of kills here and there, but doing the most the hero can do, pushing the hero to its absolute limit, is a lot harder to do on Brewmaster than it is on Invoker and than it is on Meepo. I just think those heroes are a lot easier to reach their maximum potential than it is on a hero like Brewmaster. There's just a lot more micro plays that can be done on this hero. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys learned something, leave a like and consider subscribing and joining the Dota Chronicles community. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching and supporting the content.